Welcome to CNN Student News. We're glad to see you this Tuesday. I'm Carl Azus at the CNN Center. Malaysia's government made a tragic announcement yesterday. All lives are lost. It ended many people's hopes that there could have been any survivors aboard Malaysia Airlines Flight 370, which vanished more than 2 weeks ago. Grieving families expressed everything from anguish to doubt to anger. One woman left the news briefing asking, "Where's the proof?" Malaysia says information from a British satellite company and accident investigators indicates the plane crashed somewhere in the southern Indian Ocean. As of last night, no parts of it had been recovered, though international planes and ships were combing the region. One main search area is about 1,500 miles west of Perth, Australia, so victims' families will be given the opportunity to travel there if and when the wreckage is recovered. Our next story today concerns Ebola. It's a very deadly virus that was first identified in 1976. It causes hemorrhagic fever. Symptoms are external and internal bleeding and organ failure. Most outbreaks, including the most recent in Guinea, have been in Africa. But because it spreads easily through contact with bodily fluids, officials are taking no chances.
Ebola, seen here under the microscope. It is one of the most highly contagious and deadly viruses known to man. The name alone elicits fear and brings to mind images of doctors in hazmat suits. Now people in Guinea are battling the West African country's first ever outbreak of the disease.
We immediately sent samples to 2 laboratories specializing in tropical disease. The health ministry waited for the laboratory to determine the nature of the virus involved, and then we got confirmation it was Ebola.
The virus has killed dozens of people in the southern region of the country, and there are fears Ebola may now spread to the capital of Conakry.
Listening to the news and to see the effects of what is happening in the forest, it's true that a mysterious fever is striking people. It's scaring us.
I'm scared. I'm scared because it affects me.
Government officials say samples from several suspected cases in the capital have tested negative for the virus. But Doctors Without Borders is proactively flying in tons of medical aid and equipment to fight the epidemic.
In Conakry, there's an alarming situation and a little panic. In other places, they're a bit more used to it where it's endemic. That's not easy either, because people are afraid of this epidemic because it's very deadly. But at least they're a bit used to it.
There have been sporadic incidents of Ebola in other African countries in recent years, but with a fatality rate of up to 90% and no known cure, there's concern that in Guinea, a poor country with a weak medical infrastructure, a widespread Ebola outbreak could be devastating.
Time for the shout out. What's the term for a company's first sale of stock to the public? If you think you know it, shout it out. Is it IPO, open interest, S&P, or SEC? A company's first sale of stock to the public is an IPO. It stands for Initial Public Offering. That's your answer, and that's your shout out.
So if you buy shares of a public company on the stock market, you can profit if the stock goes up and lose money if it tanks. The maker of Candy Crush Saga is going public, offering an IPO. The immensely popular game is a freemium, free and premium. It's free to download, but it can cost you to keep playing. What do you think its chances are of sweet stock market success?
Candy Crush has become a global craze, and the game's masterminds are cashing in.
Delicious.
Here on Wall Street, investors are getting their opportunity to taste Candy Crush and parent company King Digital. But to understand just how popular Candy Crush is, you have to go underground to the New York City subways. In the tunnels of Gotham City, Candy Crush, where users line up colored candies to win points, appears to be the go-to game.
It's just, trying to occupy my time, on my commute.
How often do you play it?
Pretty much every day when I'm on the train.
King says almost half of the people who play Candy Crush in the U.S. do it on subways, trains, and buses. And the minutes definitely add up.
Do you play Candy Crush?
Yeah, all the time. I had to delete the app because it was taking over my life.
Megan Rose Dickey follows online gaming for website Business Insider. Even she has issues.
I've spent like hundreds of dollars playing the game.
Hundreds of dollars? Literally?
Literally.
Players like Megan spend big bucks on tools that get them to higher levels. That's helped propel King to a profit of over $560 million last year. Most games struggle to turn any profit. King could become one of the hottest internet IPOs this year. Still, investors might want to think twice. Gamers are fickle. Zynga's Farmville was once the hot internet game, but Zynga shares have fallen dramatically since its IPO. Even Angry Birds has struggled to maintain the buzz. With so many IPOs on tap this year, investors have felt like kids in a candy shop. Life may be sweet for Candy Crush now, but in the fierce world of social gaming, investors might want to settle for a less intense sugar rush. Samuel Burke, CNN, New York.
Mark Burgle spends most nights sleeping on the couch. He could get a bed if he wanted one. He just wants everyone else in America to have one first. Burgle founded a charity that gives furniture and life skills coaching to impoverished people in Washington, D.C., where more than 18% of residents are poor. Burgle's efforts to help thousands are why he's a CNN hero.
I'm very emotional right now. I'm excited. I'm so glad things are starting to turn around. For like 5 years, me and my kids, I had nowhere to go. We just had to go from place to place. We slept at the abandoned cars. We moved in here with nothing. When I see my children on the floor, going to bed, it hurts me. Okay. Hi.
There's no stability and there's no dignity when you live in apartments that have nothing in them. So how this works, okay, anything it is that you want in here, you put your sticker on, and that's what you guys will take home.
Okay.
Once we get the homes furnished, they have a chance to just take a breath and start to create a different life. We pick up furniture and other home goods from people who have more than they need, and we distribute them free of charge to people who have nothing.
I like this table. This family, we can sit down and we can just eat. Got something to sit on, something to lay on. Now we coming back on track. Now my kids can pursue their dreams.
This is a good start.
Yes,
right? It's a good
yes,
start.
it is.
I help people to find the hope that was missing from their lives.
Love you. Good night.
And the opportunity they did not know was before them.
Forecast for today's roll call is stormy. We're starting with the storm of Sauk Rapids Rice High School. They're watching from Sauk Rapids, Minnesota, and they're first on today's roll. Glad to see the Patriots too in Gallup, New Mexico. Hello to our viewers at Miyamura High School. And on the Gulf Coast, watch out for the Buccaneers. They're sailing from Harvey, Louisiana at West Jefferson High School. If someone tells me a hamburger costs $2.50, I will make sure the decimal is after the 2. In this burger, there is no decimal, just $250 worth of beef and toppings. And not just ordinary beef and toppings. It's Kobe beef, top-notch stuff from Japan, an heirloom tomato because it costs as much as an heirloom, foie gras because why add salt when you can have liver, beluga caviar, pancetta, and a white truffle. It's truffle of flavor, truffle of expense. You can only get it rare to medium rare, like its prospective buyers. Most would call the price befuddling. Even the Hamburglar couldn't call it a steal, but for those who think it's worth it, this burger is king. I'm Carl Zeus, and we'll move on tomorrow.